Science. Science and more science. Today's modern technology and science is the solution for everything. People did not have enough knowledge in the past. Today, with so much research and development, there's no need for any religion. Let me explain the problem science has with God. You are a Muslim, aren't you, son? Yes, sir. So you believe in God? Absolutely. Is God good? Sure, God's good. Is God all-powerful? Can God do everything? Here's one for you. Let's say there's a sick person over here, and you can cure him. You can do it. Would you help him? Would you try? Yes, sir. I would. So you are good. I wouldn't say that. Why you wouldn't say that? You would help a sick person if you could. In fact, most of us would, if we could. God doesn't. He doesn't, does he? My brother was a Muslim, who died of cancer. Even though he prayed to God to heal him. How is this God good? Can you answer this one? No, you cannot. Can you? Let's start again, young fellow. Is God good? Yes. Is Satan good? No. Where does Satan come from? From God. That's right. God made Satan. Didn't he? I think we are going to have a lot of fun this semester. Tell me, son, is there evil in this world? Yes, sir. Who created evil? Is there sickness in this world? Immorality. Hatred. Ugliness? All the terrible things, do they exist in this world? Yes. Who created them? Who created them? Tell me, please. God created all evil. Didn't he, son? Tell me. How is it that this God is good, if he created all evil throughout all time? All the hatred, the brutality, the pain, all the torture, all the needless deaths and ugliness, and all the suffering created by this good God, is all over the world. Isn't it, son? Don't you see, it's all over the place. Don't you? Is God good? Do you believe in God, son? Yes, Professor, I do. Science says, you have 5 senses, that you use to identify and observe the world around you. You have never seen God. Have you? No, sir. I've never seen him. Tell us if you have ever heard your God. No, sir, I have not. Have you ever felt your God, tasted your God, or smelt your God? In fact, have you any sensory perception of your God whatsoever? Answer me, please. No, sir. I'm afraid. I haven't. You're afraid. You haven't. No, sir, I have not. Yet, you still believe in him? Yes. That takes faith. According to the rules of empirical, testable, demonstrable protocol, science says that your God doesn't exist. What do you say to that? Where's your God now? Professor, may I address the class now? I see. Come, young man, speak some proper wisdom to the gathering. Sir, you have made some interesting points. With your permission, sir, I would like to tackle each point individually. This subject has to be tackled logically and scientifically, and not emotionally. The first point is your basic doctrine, that God doesn't exist. The universe, therefore, started the doctrine of the Big Bang. And through a process of evolution, man finally came into existence. Is that not your belief, Professor? My son. It goes without saying. There's enough scientific evidence for this. What are you getting at? Let us not be hasty. Let us use logic and reason and proper scientific argument. As a preamble, I wish to point out that I use the word doctrine knowingly, for the priests of pseudoscience are, in fact, merely promoting atheism as a religion. I have a question for you, Professor. We have in this world millions upon millions of fireworks, ammunition, and bombs. Have you heard of any going off spontaneously? Or do you admit that, although the ingredients may be in existence in a container, there is required a detonating mechanism to set off the explosion? Two factors have to be present. Firstly, the correct ingredients in correct amounts in a suitable environment. And secondly, somebody to set off the explosion, whether it be by means of a matchstick, or the hammer of a pistol, or some electrical spark. For example, if somebody said that he had a bullet in his hand, and it went off on its own, and killed somebody sitting nearby, would any scientist accept such a ludicrous statement? Of course not. What are you trying to say? Surely, then, if you want us to believe in the Big Bang, that a massive explosion took place on its own, without anybody there to pull the trigger, or light a match, or electrical spark, then explain to us how smaller bangs are not taking place, all over the world, without any agency. Any scientific claim has to be reproducible, for it to be accepted. Also, we know that it is scientifically impossible for matter to create itself. Take this wooden desk. It did not come into existence by itself. Some external agency had to make it. Even the wood did not come into existence by itself. It came from a seed that was planted and nourished. Son, I think that's enough. It's time for me to leave. We are not done yet. Science will bring you to your knees.